My name's Melissa. I'm 31. And if there's one thing life has taught me, it's that words you blur out without thinking can tear apart everything you thought was solid. Ryan and I have been married 4 years. On paper, we were perfect. He had a steady job. He was kind, attentive, always brought me coffee in the mornings, never forgot anniversaries, and asked about my day without fail. From the outside, it looked like the kind of marriage people envy. But somewhere along the way, I started feeling restless. Things that once made me smile began to irritate me. His constant, "Do you need anything?" when I was clearly fine. His predictability in bed, always tender, always careful, like I might break if he wasn't. At first, that gentleness made me feel treasured. Later, it made me feel bored. It didn't help that my best friend Jenna would laugh about her wild nights with her boyfriend. Rough, passionate, bruises like trophies. I'd nod along, pretending I understood, while inside I wondered, why doesn't Ryan ever take control like that? But I never told him. Not once. Instead, I kept it all bottled up until it boiled over. It happened on a Thursday night. We just finished, and it was the same as always. Fine, safe, predictable. And out of nowhere I said it. "Why don't you ever act like a real man in bed?" The second it left my mouth, I regretted it. I stared at the ceiling, too stubborn to take it back. He didn't move, didn't say a word. When I finally glanced at him, he looked like I'd struck him. I tried to soften it. "I just mean sometimes I want you to be more assertive. You're always so careful, like you're afraid of me." Still silence. Then he sat up, swung his legs off the bed, and said in the quietest voice I've ever heard, "So I'm not man enough for you." My stomach dropped. That wasn't what I meant, or at least not exactly. But instead of apologizing, I panicked. I scoffed. "Don't be dramatic, Ryan. It's just feedback." He stood, walked to the closet. I thought he was cooling off, maybe grabbing a sweatshirt. But then he pulled out a suitcase. "Wait, what are you doing?" I sat up. No response. He just started packing. "Ryan, come on. It's not that serious. Can you stop overreacting?" Finally, he looked at me. Not angry, just hollow. "This isn't about one night, Melissa. It's about all the times I've tried and all the ways I've never been enough for you. Tonight you finally said it out loud." I opened my mouth, but nothing came. He zipped the suitcase, walked to the door, and paused. "I'd rather be alone than feel this small in the arms of someone who doesn't want me." And then he left. I sat there staring at the door, waiting. Part of me was sure he'd come back, like always. I'd explode, he'd absorb it, and we'd move on. But this time he didn't. 3 days of silence passed. I broke first, texted him, "Can we talk?" His reply was short. "You said what you meant." I finally heard it. That's when I knew he wasn't coming back. I replayed that night over and over. It wasn't just about sex. It was about every sarcastic remark, every eye roll. Every time I joked to friends, "Ryan's sweet, but he's not exactly a tiger in bed." I thought I was being funny, but really, I was dismantling the man I claimed to love. A week later, I learned he was staying with his brother. I showed up uninvited, desperate. He opened the door, looking older, worn down. He stepped outside, closed the door behind him, and we sat on the steps in silence. Finally, I said the words I should have said that night. "I'm sorry, not just for what I said, but for every way I've made you feel small. I thought being strong meant being in control. But the truth is, you were the strong one, I just never saw it." He studied me, then asked, "Do you mean that because you want me back? Or because you finally realized what you lost?" That question shattered me, because the truth was, I hadn't realized until it was too late. We talked for a while, calm, honest, sad. He admitted he still loved me, but he didn't trust me with his heart anymore. Not yet. Maybe not ever. And I had to accept that. It's been 2 months now. We speak sometimes, polite, careful conversations, but it's different. He's different. Stronger. More sure of himself. Like leaving gave him something I never could. And me? I still sleep on my side of bed, half hoping he'll walk back in and say he's ready to try again. But deep down, I know some wounds don't heal just because you finally find the right words. Some cracks don't close just because you're sorry. And sometimes the one you thought was too soft is the only one strong enough to walk away.